Most info businesses leave 50% of their cash on the table, not because of ads, not because of leads, but because they don't know how to monetize a customer after the first sale. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build offers that create the most upfront cash, that increase the longest lifetime value, and get people and customers to pay you again, and again, so that you can have more money to be able to outspend your competition. And it's a simple framework. And essentially what this whole system will go over is what most people in this space do it, and then what most people that make a shit ton of money do in this space as well. It all begins with, as always, a front end, right? Your ads, your organic content, your vlogs, any content that comes from any of these social medias, they get funneled. Eventually, people land in a sales process, whether they're watching VSLs, funnel, applications, their CRM profile gets created, they continue going down the process. Eventually, you get to the sales call. Right, and at the sales call, this is where it's go time. This is where the cash is created. And most offers have a very basic underlying factor that you should not do, which is either they close, client gets access, that's the end of their journey. Or they end up being a DQ, somebody who's disqualified, and they end the call, it's the end of the journey. This is how a failing info business will eventually go down to zero and will have to shut down. If you don't want to do that, I would very much suggest you listen to this next part. Just like a very normal info, you have a front end, you have a sales process, you have a sales call, and this is where the magic is done. And this is why a lot of infos out there make a shit ton of money, whereas others do not. And it comes down to basics, right? Especially if they are DQ or they're no close, the process doesn't end there. You can provide financing options. Payment processors like WAP, Fanbases, Klarna, Afterpay, Zip, Sezzle, and anything out there, all these financing options allow people to have the options of being able to break payments down. Again, at least you can create an option for them and get some cash flow on the table. Another thing you can do, an in-house payment plan. Even if you have a very low ticket offer where a customer can pay $100 a month, you can use the payments. They don't get approved for financing options, but you can do an in-house payment. At least that's cash, right? So you have in-house payment plans. Another option, being able to downsell into an intro offer, whether it's just the community, whether it's a mini curriculum, a mini resource that they can go through. Once again, a very intro downsell offer. You're not just ending the process like you would here, where they didn't close, they didn't pay $6,000 for your main course, hence on to the next. It's not like that. I say it all the time, DQs are buyers, they're not buyers today. So even if you were to get somebody into an in-house plan, you were able to get somebody on a financing option or a downsell intro offer, does not mean eventually after they go through you and they stay on a long enough time frame, they don't trust you enough, or fuck knows, they could probably win a lottery. And then at that point, they can pay you $6K upfront. You don't know, nobody knows. But at least do the things that are going to benefit them as a prospect who wants to change their life. If you have an offer, you have a moral obligation to be able to change people's lives. And number two, you're priming them up for when they do get in a better position, they are able to pay you. And the second option is they close. But unlike there, you just end the process off, they get access to everything, end the journey. No, you book. And the best way to actually implement any of these offers is to book onboarding calls. On my last offer that I worked with, I specifically mastered this art, and the whole team mastered this art, where when we would close somebody, we would set onboarding calls. And we didn't set up the regular onboarding calls where you onboard somebody, you show them what they have access to, you give it a nice day. No, we use it as an opportunity to ascend. And again, there's so many offers that you can have to be able to send people to increase LTV, to increase the cash up front, once again, so that you can outspend your competition. And there's mainly three factors. You have upsell offers, continuity offers, and you have ascension offers. Upsell offers are add-ons, right? They're extra support. They're either one-to-one, they're either an extra done-for-you service. It's lifetime access instead of 3 months. Or it's an additional one-to-one coaching for $1,500, or it's upgrade to X for done-for-you support. There's so many things that you can implement within an upsell offer, but that is one of three. The second one is continuity offers. An ongoing service, whether it's a community they get access to, a software that they need to use in order to be successful in whatever it is you're helping them with. Let's say you have an Airbnb offer, you're teaching people how to start an Airbnb business. It's a software that can analyze deals and it can analyze properties to see what would it be, is it a good property to go for, and it's something that would help them. That's a prime example of a continuity offer. And thirdly, ascension offers. Right? I would heavily recommend in your coaching and in your info business, you have multiple different tiers where people can use them as a ladder to climb up, where people aren't just fixed to one solid thing and that's where they stay in forever. No, You want to have a tier system where they can next level up, whether it's an inner circle group where a specific amount of students with people who generate a specific amount of sales, whether it's a private mastermind, whether you launch one mastermind every 6 months that they get an invitation to or can get access to, or whether it's done for you services, whether it's the highest tier rather than working onside them with them, you're doing it for them. And the reality is when you have all of this set up, you essentially have constant LTV increase, you have a never ending loop, and you have an infinite leverage where people will pay you again, again, and again. And with this, just like I promised at the start of the video, you're collecting the most upfront cash, you're increasing LTV the most it can be, and you're able to outspend your competition. Every single day, the cost of marketing only goes up. The importance of having cash flow, the importance of having high cash upfront is what will allow you to get in front of other offers in the space. So that's as simple as it is. And once again, not even neglecting people who don't have the money. Again, being able to propose things like financing options, in-house payments, downsell offers, being able to not just leave the call with zero cash collected, but leave with at least 300, 500. Give the option for when they are in a better scenario, they can get nurtured, and then they can go into the higher programs. That's essentially how it is, and that's exactly how you want your system to be, as opposed to a very basic system like this, which will get you to a point where eventually you go to fucking zero. So that's really, yeah. And this is how you turn, or at least how to add 50% more sales from existing clients to your info business without any more work and without any new leads.